Hi, my name is Ben Jacobs, a member of the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, and a member of the Osage Nation of Northeast Oklahoma. I am also a chef and restaurateur, and that's why I'm excited to be here today to teach you one of my favorite recipes, something that we all love, is tacos. So we're going to talk tacos, we're going to talk accessibility, and we're going to talk about how you can be creative in your cooking. And again, at the end of the day, we're going to end up with some amazing tacos. So before we jump into the recipes, remember what we always want to start with is a clean cooking surface and clean hands. So I already wiped and sanitized everything down. I have clean hands, and now I'm ready to cook. So we're going to start with a turkey taco, and then we're going to do a veggie taco. So really fast, simple recipe. So let's start with our turkey. Turkey is incredibly lean, and so what I like to do is I like to start with a little bit of oil. So I'm going to start with some high-quality olive oil. I have a warm pan already going, so I'm going to get my turkey out. I'm going to drop that in, get a nice sizzle. One thing I always like to remind people of as well is when you're done with your protein, set that aside. You want to make sure you don't have any cross-contamination. You want to make sure that you always have those clean surfaces. So I have a nice hot pan. I have that little bit of oil that's going to help that sizzle around. So again, turkey is so lean. Adding that little bit of fat in there is just going to help it start to cook and brown. So I'll break that up a little bit. All right, so I have the turkey in there, and what's great about turkey is it's so lean, it cooks really quickly, and you can see we have some beautiful brown bits on there. And again, with it being lean, and I have not even seasoned this yet, I want this to really cook down a little bit. So I'm actually going to take my seasoning here, which I have some chili powder, paprika, smoked paprika, salt, pepper, some great seasoning in there. But see how that turkey was already almost cooked? I need some way to break that down. So I'm going to grab some nice vegetable stock. I'm going to pour that in. So now it feels like I'm almost stewing this, but really what I'm doing is I'm just letting that seasoning break down and incorporate itself into that turkey. All right, so while this cooks down, we're going to let all that liquid cook off. Just chop this up a little bit more. Then we're going to talk about some other components that we're going to put on top. And one of my favorite things about tacos is that they are what you make it. And so a taco is a taco. You can do whatever you want. And so again, we're going to do our turkey taco. We're going to do a veggie taco. One thing that I want to talk about with where I come from in food is a native background, and so we're going to talk about three sisters. So we have a nice, beautiful corn tortilla on the bottom. We're going to add pinto beans on top. So that's our bean. I made a refried bean almost on this. So if you have canned refried beans, or if you have just a canned pinto bean, you can make your own refried beans. If you do have dried beans, you can make beans from scratch and create your own refried bean. I cook those down with a little bit of salt, a little bit of oil, just to help them get a little creamy, and I smash them with a spoon. If you have a blender, you're welcome to use that as well. So we have our beans, we have our turkey that's still kind of cooking and stewing down. We have a Three Sisters topping. So we have a corn, a bean, and a squash that we're going to do our veggie. So there we got corn, bean, squash, Three Sisters, veggie taco. Now, on the rest of this, I want to add some other components. So I have, this is like where it gets fun. So I have some sliced red onion, I have some jalapenos, I have a little bit of vinegar, so we're just going to do a really quick pickle, like super fast, because we want to eat these now. So I have some apple cider vinegar. The reason I like apple cider vinegar is it's really floral, it's really fruity, and you get that citrus note. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Now this is totally up to you. You can do this how you like. I'm just going to mix that vinegar in. So I enjoy spice. You can also add some jalapenos. So I have some sliced jalapenos here. I'm going to add a couple of those in, but I'm also keep some fresh because I do want to keep some fresh bite on the jalapenos, some of that spice with the veggie taco. So I have my little bit of apple cider vinegar in there. I have my salt. That salt and that acidity is really going to start to break those down. Really simple. Now you can do this right before a meal. You can do this and put it in a jar and save it for later. So while this finishes, I'm almost done with my turkey. I want to talk about our other toppings. So I have a shaved romaine lettuce, and I also have a cabbage. So you can do one or the other. I also made a blend of the two. I like the blend because you get that nice earthiness. You get the bitterness from the cabbage. You get a little bit more crunch. Then you have that nice fluffiness from the romaine. And again, as everyone enjoys, whether you do, is finishing it with a little bit of cheese. So at that point, our turkey is done. Our beans are done. We've discussed our toppings. We have pickles. So now it's time to build our tacos. I have these awesome corn tortillas that I warmed in the microwave, so they're sitting in a nice damp towel. Just going to lay one of these out each. Again, Three Sisters, corn, bean, squash. This is our first layer. Here's our nice refried beans. What I love about doing my own refried beans is that you get a little bit more texture with it, because I just smash these with a spoon. Again, if you want to put them in a food processor, or if you want to put them in a blender, you're welcome to do that. If you want them really creamy, I do like that little bit of bite in there. I do like some of the texture in there. So from there, I'm going to do my Three Sisters veggie topping on this one. Again, this is totally up to you. You build up however much you like. I'm going to keep it light on that one. And let me grab some turkey. So we're just going to slowly build these up. Again, we've all had tacos before. That's the fun part about tacos, is there's really no wrong way to do it. You add the flavors you like, you add the textures you like, sweet, spicy, all those different things. So I have a veggie, I have a turkey. I'm going to do my blend on both. So I have that cabbage, I have that fresh romaine on there. So we're starting to see a lot of beauty in there. I'm actually going to add my cheese next. I'm going to do a little bit of this nice shredded cheese, just a little bit. And then we're going to finish the turkey with this nice pickle on top. All right, awesome. So we have our pickled onions and jalapenos on our turkey. I'm going to add some of our fresh sliced jalapenos on this Three Sisters veggie. Make sure we get all that on there. So I like that bite. I like this, the heat that jalapeno brings. And that's it. So we have two tacos. Super straightforward, really easy recipes. One of my favorites. You have the corn, you have the beans, you have the squash, you have lean meat, you have nice acidity, crunch, spice, you have everything you want. So amazing, simple recipes. I hope you cook them at home, and I hope you enjoy them. It's one of my favorite things. Everyone loves a taco. So thanks a lot. Enjoy your cooking.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.